Welcome to day 9 of the Build with AI series with Steven. This is a series where we are building one simple app or tool every day that has a real life use case. Today we'll be building a business pitch deck optimizer. When it comes to business pitches, there are several reasons why people get funded and some other people do not. It could be because of the business idea itself, the pitch deck, the presentation, or even just the personal convictions of the investor. Now, while the main reason for some people getting funded and some other people not getting funded or selected may not be just one reason, this tool will help make sure that the pitch deck itself is not the reason why you're not getting selected. You'll be able to upload your pitch deck and have AI analyze it based on several factors, including current investor trends, the context of the pitch you're preparing for, any custom instructions, or even the people that will be in your panel or the investors themselves. It will also help you predict possible investor objections and questions and provide you good answers for them. This tool helps you get ready for your next business pitch. We'll be using the Google AI Studio to build this tool, and we'll use 2 of the 4 phases that I have shared earlier for building an app using vibe coding. The first phase is brainstorming. So I'll take you to my screen now so that we can brainstorm this app together. Alright, so this is the prompt we're using to brainstorm. I already have an idea of some of the features I want in this particular app. However, if you don't have an idea of the features you want, you can just start with a simple prompt of what you want to build, and you can also brainstorm the features alongside AI. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it on Gemini. It actually says I want to build a business pitch deck optimizer with features like pitch deck, PDF or PPTX, that's PowerPoint upload, other context, that's things like maybe the details of the investor, the details of the program you're pitching for, the people that will be on your panel, and things like that. You should be able to give that to AI too. Slide analysis, that means you should be able to analyze the slides. Current investor trend research using web search. You should be able to check what the current investor trends are using a web search feature. Weak slide identification and improvement, suggestions, narrative flow optimization, investor objection prediction with responses. Ask me questions, one question at a time, that will help me build this app, giving me options, context, and recommendations for each question. So let me just go ahead and send this so I can start the brainstorming process. Alright, so this sounds like a fantastic, ambitious project. Building a tool like this involves several key decisions. The question 1 is, what technology stack are you most comfortable with or prefer building this web application? Now, for things concerning technology, because we're trying to make this as non-tech friendly as possible, you can literally just respond with, I'll be using Google AI Studio and React. Alright, the question 2 is, how do you want to handle the extraction of text and images from the uploaded pitch deck? So there are different options here: client-side processing, server-side processing, third-party API. Now, this is also another relatively technical question. Although I can choose one of these based on technical knowledge, I'm recording these videos for people that may not have any idea of all these technical things. And the good thing is that Google AI Studio is able to make decisions like this for you, except you want to change it. So I'm just going to ask you to focus on the features and the user flow. So I'll just go ahead and focus on the features and user workflows, or the user journey. So the user workflow and journey. So that the questions now would be very much focused on features and workflows instead of the technical side of things. Alright, so next question is, what's the primary user flow for starting a new analysis? Is it the all-in-one dashboard where the user lands on a single page and they see upload button, optional text below, and they feel what they want and hit analyze? Or is it the guided wizard that has one question in one page, like a multi-step process where the first step is just upload your pitch deck, PDF or PPTX, that's PowerPoint file. Step 2 is, who is this pitch for? Step 3 is, what's the context? Then step 4 is then review and analyze, that's multi-steps. And option 3 is the quick start and enhance, which is The user just uploads their deck and they immediately get an analysis. The most user-friendly option here is the guided wizard, and that's what I'm going to go with. So I'll just go with number 2 or option 2 here. All right, our next question is ready. How should the analysis results be presented to the user first? Should it be an executive summary dashboard? That's a single page that shows the strategic feedback first, as the overall score, narrative flow, predicted investor objections, investor trends, or a slide-by-slide view where the user sees their slide and the specific comments on that slide, or an interactive chat interface where AI kind of starts a conversation saying, oh, I've reviewed your slide deck, your key strengths are this, but your predicted objections are Y. I think I like the number 1 and 2. So I'm going to go with the recommendation, which is 1 and then 2. So let's go with 1 and then 2. That means it starts with an executive summary, but then goes to a slide-by-slide analysis. Good, so we have our next question. So when a user sees a weak slide suggestion, how do you want them to interact with the improvement suggestion? The first option is static suggestion. Second one is generative one-click suggestion. Then the third one is AI being able to edit and optimize the slide. We're going to go with option 2 for this particular one. So let's click on 2 here, which means AI does not just show you what's wrong, it's able to generate a replacement for that for you to edit. Now, the next question is, how should the investor trend research, which I had added as one of the features, be integrated into the user experience? So should it be a dedicated section in the executive summary? Should it be contextually within the slide-by-slide view? Or should it be a separate on-demand feature? I think I want this to be something that people would request for, not something that automatically comes up. I think I'm going to go with option 1 for this, which is as a dedicated section in the executive summary. So let me just go with option 1 for this. Next question is, how and where should the predicted objections and responses be presented? First is as a primary panel in your executive summary. Second is contextually in the slide-by-slide view. Third is as a separate Q&A prep feature. I think I want it as a separate Q&A prep feature. So let me just use option 3. Although AI is recommending option 1, that should be part of the executive summary, but I want it to be separate so that after your slide is being analyzed, you can then look at possible questions and their answers. Good. Next question is, how do you want to present the narrative flow optimization feedback? That means the flow of the narrative of the pitch. Should it be in the executive summary? Should it be a visual story map view? Or should it be contextually within the slide? I think I like the recommendation. That means it should be in the executive summary, but then it should be linked to the slide-by-slide feedback. So I would go with the recommendation, right? I see. So now we're making progress here. Next question is, how should the app handle user data, projects, and analysis history? So there are 3 options here. No accounts, there's local storage, there's project-based. That means it will have user accounts. Now, the user accounts option is the best option. However, it requires you to have implemented Firebase, that's the database, or Firebase or any other database option you want to use at the back end. Now, for most of the tools we are doing during this series, we're intentionally not creating back ends for them. We're going to have a builder's lab where we're going to work on this both at the front end and at the back end and talk about deploying things to cloud. There's a more advanced intensive session on that. So because of that, we're going to use option 2 for this. That's local storage. So I'll just use 2 for now. All right, next thing they're asking about is Gemini API calls. However, this is also getting a little bit technical. So we're going to go ahead and end the brainstorming session here by asking for a summary of everything we've brainstormed. We have looked at the user flow already, and we've also seen the features that the app is going to have. So let me go ahead and ask for a summary. So this is the prompt we're going to use for that. Create a detailed build instruction for this app that contains the context, all features, the workflow, user journey, and any other detail. Just click on send here. All right, so this is it. Our build instructions is ready. I'm just going to copy this, right? Although there are some things I'm going to change and remove, but for example, this technical part of it, I don't need to add it. Google AI Studio would know how to technically take care of this. So I'll copy this first part down to this place. Then I'll take it to Google AI Studio, which is the tool we're using to build this. Let me check if there's another thing I need to copy. Most of these things are technical. Yeah, most of these ones are technical. So Google AI Studio will know what to do when it comes to the technical parts. So let me just click on build here. All right, so this is it. Our app has been, you can actually work on the user interface. That's the colors, the way it is styled and things like that. Those things can be worked on, right? Those are other things we'll get to talk about during this series. But yes, you can definitely work on this in case you don't like the way it looks. Okay, you want to make it another color. You want to have it in another style in terms of the interface styling. You definitely can do that. But for now, let's just check if it works. Okay, so the AI Copilot that helps you analyze your pitch deck. So we're going to put up a pitch deck here. For example, I'm going to try creating a pitch deck for this sample right here. Let me open up Gemini Canvas. First of all, create a pitch deck. I'll just use a one-shot prompt for this is my website. This is the website of the AI Literacy Academy. All right, so it has created a pitch deck for us here, but I want this as a Google slide. So I'll just go ahead and say, create it as a presentation on Google Slides. Okay, so as you can see, the slides have been created. All right, so this is it. Our slide is ready. This is slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. This is actually a fully designed slide. Although this face is on my face, but yeah, it's actually a slide. This is just a very quick presentation. Let me download this immediately as a PDF. All right, so that's downloaded as a PDF now. We're just going to go ahead and try uploading it here. All right, still not working. So let me click on auto fix here. Now, the reason why I include even the times that it's not working is so you know that when you're trying to build an application or a tool, there are some times that there will be errors, right? So how you approach the errors is what matters, right? So it's not every time that there is a one-shot perfect application. There may be errors here and there, but then you can go through the process of fixing either automatically or trying to rethink the problem to fix it. Okay, so let's try an automatic fix first here. All right, so let's try that again. I'm going to try uploading now. Good, so you can see that it worked this time. So with the investor or firm name, I'm just going to use Y Combinator as an example here. Meeting context, I don't have much context here, but I'll just use let me use first VC meeting, then click on next, then click on start analysis. Now the analysis is going on currently. Can you see this? So our tool is currently analyzing the pitch deck, it's literally reviewing it, and now it has come up with an executive summary, which is like a high-level summary of the entire pitch deck. So can you see this? It says that the pitch deck is mostly logical in describing the product itself, but it is not compelling enough for a Y Combinator audience, which is true actually, due to significant gaps in the overall business story. So it's analyzing the narrative flow here. That's the fact that from the introduction slides, there's a jump down to the solution. Can you see the weakness here? The deck immediately jumps to the solution on slide 3 without explicitly defining the problem it solves, which is true actually, because that was just a test deck that we did. This is the narrative flow. Then there are some key sections that are missing. So AI has been able to analyze and see that, okay, these are sections that are missing. There's no explicit problem statements, there's no market size, there's no traction, there's no competition, there's no business model, there's no team, there's no future vision or roadmap, and there's no ask. And these are true because these things are not in those slides, all right? If I go through the slides here, you can see all those things are not here. So AI has looked at it and has seen that these things are not here. So because of that, this slide is not good enough, right? And then it's also able to give you what the current investor trends are. So you can literally read through this and see what exactly investors are looking for at this time. And you can see it focuses even on EdTech. It understands that I created something for the AI Literacy Academy, which is an amazing academy, by the way. If you want to learn AI skills for your workplace and business, definitely go check out www.ailiteracyacademy.org. It's a great place to learn practical AI skills for your workplace and your business. So it's giving me very specific insights on what investors are looking for, especially in the EdTech space right now. So the next steps here are either a detailed slide-by-slide analysis or preparing for question and answer. So I'll click on detailed slide-by-slide analysis, and you can see it goes from slide 1 down to slide 13, right? So this is slide 1, for example. This is the slide content. It says that, okay, this content is clear and concise. It immediately states the value, proposition, and target audience. So this is good. Slide 2, this is the feedback on this. Slide 3, this is the feedback. Slide 4, this is the feedback. So there's feedback on each of these slides. However, I'm noticing that the feedback for the slide by slide is majorly positive. It doesn't critique the slide. You can actually prompt it to analyze each slide more intently in the slide-by-slide analysis. That's not being done currently. That can be an improvement on this app. So you can just literally come here and say that for the slide-by-slide analysis, analyze the slide not just based on what is, but what it should be, all right? I think the summary already does that to an extent. It actually already shows you some critical analysis of what should be improved upon. Let's go to the last one, which is the Q&A prep. So the first Q&A prep is with a $40 price point. How do you envision achieving venture scale revenue? Because the price is actually quite low. So definitely there's a projection that there will be a question on, with this low price, how do you intend to get to a place where you can create profit for a venture capitalist? Because venture capitalists, they want high growth startups that can make a lot of money within a short time. Second one is around the fact that AI education space is increasingly crowded. What's the core differentiation? Long-time defensibility against free resources, large platforms, and other paid courses. So there are some very important questions here that you can begin to prepare for based off of the slide. This is exactly how the pitch deck optimizer works, right? You give it your slide, it's able to analyze those slides, give you an executive summary, show you what you're missing in the narrative flow. It's also even able to use the context based on who are the people you're trying to pitch to. What's the context of the pitch? Is the first pitch, a second pitch? Are there some things they're trying to look out for in this pitch? You can give it all those contexts, and based on that, it creates an executive summary for you. It does a slide-by-slide analysis for you, and it also helps you with an investor question and answer preparation, all in one app. And with this tool, you're able to become better prepared for your next business pitch. Is this a tool you would like to try out? Would you want me to build this further and put some back-end features? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know the next tool or the next application that you want me to build. Until my next video, make AI work for you.